Well, hello, mon amours. This is Erica Angelo coming to you from France, from La Boule, France. And I am so excited to have you here. Are you glad to be here? You guys in America, I know it's the morning time for you, but are you glad to be here? If you're glad to be here, give me a big yes, Erica. We are so glad. We're excited to be here. Thank you guys for already giving me the thumbs up. I love you guys. You're so supportive. You're so amazing. And I am really thrilled to do this one because this is such an important subject. Is it not? If you think this is an important subject, just say yes. If this one really resonates to you. So we are going to talk about how to get and keep a woman, even if you're not rich, even if you're not attractive. So let's just get right into this. You know, a big myth that so many people believe is that you have to be rich, you have to be attractive. But we're going to get into why that just is not the case and why you are selling yourself short. But before I go into that, some of you may be new here. You may be like, who the hell is this woman? Well, baby doll, my name is Erica Angelo. Let me introduce myself. And I am a dating and relationship expert. And what do? I have been coaching men. I have been working with people when it comes to matters of love and getting the love that they deserve for over, I think I've been in this since 2008. So 11 years I've been doing this. It's my passion. It's what I love to do. I'm a firm believer that people deserve, if they desire love, then they deserve the love that they're meant to get. And so some of you are like, well, what's happened with some of your clients? I'm going to actually tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story, a true story of a client that I worked with that was not rich. And he actually ended up marrying. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Do you know who he married? Guy married one of my clients that I worked with years ago. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I should tell you this story. Okay, I'll tell you the story in a little bit. I'll tell you the story of how this all happened. But one of my clients actually married Beyonce's cousin. Beyonce, hello, all my single ladies. I'm not even going to try to sing right now because my voice is going. But yes, one of my clients even married Beyonce's cousin. So we are going to talk about how you, my dear, we can make this happen for you. If I could help this guy and he could figure out a way to make this happen for him, we are going to talk about how to make this happen for you. So here we go. You're like, okay, that's great, but Erica, who are you? Who are you? So I want to tell you why this is all so important to me. I think that most of us, when it comes to love and just fucking life, that a lot of us feel really alone and we feel really rejected. I'm sure you are watching this right now. You may not want to comment about this, but you're like, yes, I definitely feel alone. And so when I became a dating and relationship expert, I had to learn the hard way about loving myself because I got married super young and then went through a divorce and really just felt alone and felt really rejected. I shared this in one of my videos with you guys, and I felt like such a freaking loser. I was very young. I was in my early 20s. I was divorced. I was single. I was alone. And I just felt like such a loser. And I shared with you in one of the videos that a turning point for me was I just made a commitment within myself that I wasn't going to allow myself to be defined by my failure. I wasn't going to be defined by this rejection of self. Because I failed, that was not going to define me. And so, but most of my life, I spent my life feeling rejected and alone. And so for me, that is, that's such a pain point for me when I see this in my client, because what happens when you're rejected, when you feel rejected and you feel alone, what's the story that plays through your mind? The story that plays through your mind is this: this is going to happen for everybody else, but for me. Do you feel this way? You see couples walking down the street. You say everyone else but me. You see the rich guy driving the fancy car. He gets out with the woman with the nice tits, great blonde hair, and you think this is going to happen for everyone else but for me. And that's the way I felt most of my life. Most of my life, I felt that way, that it is just like, I'm this loser. I didn't grow up with money, and my parents did the best that they could. But, I would see so many kids with like nicer clothes, nicer things than I had, nicer homes, nicer everything. And even that made me feel like such a loser because I didn't have the money that everybody else had. I felt like I was this outcast because I couldn't fit in the way I thought I should be able to fit in social circles. And I'm sure for some of you guys, when you see guys pulling up to restaurants in these fancy cars, or you see them wearing expensive watches and all these things, and you're just like, I'm the loser on the outside. Like all these rich guys, they have it together, and I'm the guy that's just a loser. So when I work with my clients and I say, I know exactly how you feel, I do, because that's how I grew up most of my life, was feeling those two things, alone and rejected, and I felt like a loser. Hi from the Netherlands. I'm so glad to have you here. That is wonderful. And some of you are saying, yes, Erica, I feel alone. The dating sites are all about rejection. Right. There's just a lot of rejection going on right now. And I understand that. Society tells you, what does society say? Every commercial that you watch says you need to be good looking. You need to have a six pack. If you're going to get the hot girl, you need to be good looking. You need to have the six pack. You need to have the fancy car. You need to have the right watch. You need to have the right house. You need to go on the right vacations. Hello from Colorado. Thank you for being here, Brian. Society says you need to have all of this. If you really want to find love, if you really want to be a deserving man of love, to get the woman that you want, the woman with the great tits, the great ass, that's going to make love to you every night, you need to be all this as a man. But you know what? It's horse shit. It's absolute horse shit. It's a lie. And I get why men buy into this, because you're constantly marketed to this. So you have to understand, my love, that these are companies that are trying to sell you on things. They want you to believe that you have to become this image. So you're constantly working as this slave to obtain something. But lo and behold, here's the reality. Are you ready for the reality check? If you're ready for the reality check, just say yes. Comment yes if you're ready for this reality check. The reality check of all of this is what they don't tell you in commercials when it comes to getting the woman of your dreams, when it comes to keeping the woman of your dreams. Are you ready? There are millions of women in the world. And guess how many Brad Pitts there are? One. There's one Brad Pitt. One motherfucking Brad Pitt. But what does society say? You need to look like Brad Pitt. You need to look like George Clooney. If you're going to get the girl, this is who you have to be. And that's just not the truth. Because why? You think all those millions of women, do you think like Brad Pitt has some concubine with like thousands and millions of women locked up in some house? No, which means there are plenty of women, and there are plenty of women to go around. And this is what I'm going to clap, wake you up, because some of you might be asleep. But this is what I need you to believe, that there are millions of women out there. Brian says, yeah, or you might have to look like Tom Brady. But there are millions of women out there. And guess what? There's only one Tom Brady. There's only one George Clooney. There's only one Brad Pitt. There's only 3 of them. So that's kind of what's been going on. That's the lie that you've been sold. And that's the lie that subconsciously you believe. And so you keep setting yourself up for rejection. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this, you guys? Well, today we're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about some secrets of how without having any experience. Like, that's how to understand women, because us women can be so freaking complex. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a woman, and this is why I'm not a lesbian, because I can't have 2 Erica Angelos. It's too much. It's too much. So yes, we're complex. So we are going to understand what women really want. And so even if you don't have experience, that's okay. I gotcha. So some of you are like, Erica, I've watched YouTube videos, but the last time I touched a woman was when I was in kindergarten on the playground. I get it, but it's okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is how you become the attractive man, even if you're not so hot. Listen, not everybody is really good looking. It just doesn't work out that way. Not everyone hits the genetic gene pool. It just doesn't happen that way. But I promise you, my love, that like I just said, you don't have to be freaking Brad Pitt to get your woman, but you can still get a woman even if you're not attractive. And the third thing is we're going to talk to you about how to make women want you even if you're not rich. Now, this is where I get so much shit on YouTube. I look at other dating coaches and they get just as much shit as I do because every guy out there wants to say, oh yeah, I have to be rich. But even if you're not rich, you can still get a woman. You know why guys want to hide behind that? And this is why you can't drink that Kool-Aid of I have to be rich. Guys who constantly bitch about having to be rich is because they don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They'd rather blame than take responsibility for themselves. So that's not where we're going to go with you guys, because I believe that you guys are alpha warriors. And I believe that you guys are not men who hide behind excuses. So understanding women. I want to tell you about this client that I had who his family came to me for Christmas. Like, how sweet was this family? His sister reached out to me. It was around Christmas time. And she said, I want to buy my father and I want to buy my brother a coaching package to work with a dating coach because he's single. He's a good guy. He just can't find anyone. How many of you feel like that? You're like, if one more family member tells me that I'm a single good, I'm such a great catch, I'm such a good guy, they don't understand why I'm single, I'm going to rip my hair out of my head. I get so many clients, they're like, if one more friend or one more family member says, you're so great, I don't understand why you're still alone. So they said, listen, we want to get him a coaching package. And so I said, wonderful, I look forward to working with this guy. And so when he came to me, bless his heart, he just knew nothing about women. He didn't know anything. No one had ever taught him. He'd never worked with a coach before. And so we had to go from like start to finish of how to understand women. And so I would take him out and help him like start approaching women and talking to women. And then we went through the whole like how to date a woman. So when we would go out, I would say, okay, this is where you open my door. This is where you do this. This is where you say that. And so we kind of went on this journey of helping him understand, like, what are the things that women look for and what are they really wanting? And what are the clues? Like if I do this, you know, if I sit with my shoulders like this, like, what does that say to a woman? And it says to a woman that you're shut down. And so we went over some really pretty intense things about like the novelties and the mysteries of women. I am going to block this user, pal, because you're being rude and you're getting the fuck off my channel. So you're removed. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. So guys, please don't waste my time doing this stuff because you're taken away from everybody else. And we are going to report this user. So we're going to shut down your YouTube channel. Thank you very much. So please don't do this sort of stuff because you just end up wasting time and you take away from the community. So let's not do that. All right. So back to what I was saying. So yeah, this guy, what we did was we helped him really understand what women wanted. And I know that for a lot of you guys that can be very frustrating, is understanding what it is that a woman wants. But you know what? Once you understand what a woman wants, it becomes relatively easy. Not saying perfect, but it becomes easy. So my client went from not knowing anything about women until I would say about 6 months later, he sent me a picture of him and this beautiful woman. And he said, Erica, this is my new fiance. And I was so proud of him that he went from not knowing what women wanted and to coach with me. And like I said, I took him on dates. I took him to meet women. And this guy went from literally knowing nothing. When he first met me, he was so nervous. He was like shaking. And I was like, you're nervous with me, aren't you? And he was like, yes, I'm so nervous with you right now. And so he went from being like this really nervous guy who didn't know what women wanted and to all of a sudden, like just really understanding them and being engaged. So I'm sure some of you guys, I want to show you this. Some of you guys may feel like this. Look at this dog. Can you see him? It's this massive dog. And then you see all those little dogs. And it's like a father dog, and he's watching the little puppy dogs, and he's like, I'm just done parenting. Just leave me alone. And I'm sure some of you guys may feel like that with women, where you're just like, just the rest of you guys go at it, leave me alone. And I get it. But you know what? When you really understand what women want, the game changes. Everything changes when you really understand, like, when to pursue her, when to approach her. Everything changes once you start understanding what it is that they really want. And so from there, from understanding a woman, you have to develop confidence. And confidence is a huge, huge thing, because that's one of the big things that women actually want, are men who are very, very confident in themselves. And so the thing about confidence is you yourself have to make an investment and commit to becoming the confident man, but not hiding behind excuses. And so when you understand what women want and then you go out and implement, guess what happens? You get confidence. You get confidence by going out, taking what you've learned. I understand that this is how women want to be approached. I understand when to approach a woman, when not to. I know how to ask a woman on a date. Once you understand that, and then you start going into the land of women and you start implementing this, all of a sudden you get a newfound confidence. Now, some of you, though, you stop yourself because you go, I don't feel that attractive. And so I will tell you, I worked with this client, and he, bless him, he grew up with a really rough childhood. How many of you have had a rough childhood out there? I mean, I went through it as well. And so this guy had such a low self-image. And so he would shoot himself in the foot before he would even go talk to women. Like, he would just tell himself, I can't go talk to her. I can't go talk to this woman because she's going to reject me. Every thought would start playing out in his head. How many of you have been this way, where you see a beautiful woman, and before you open your mouth, before you even make a step towards her, my love, you sell yourself short. You start beating yourself down. You listen to the thoughts inside of your head that say, you're a loser. She probably has a boyfriend. What's she going to want with you? Why are you going to go talk to her? And so you never even make the move to talk to her. And this is how it was with my client, where he had such a low self-image about himself. He really felt like he was just rejected because of the experience that he had as a child. His childhood taught him that he wasn't lovable. And so he kept that same mentality and went out into the world with women and started interacting with women like, I'm rejected, I'm unlovable. And it really shattered his confidence. And so when we worked together, at the end of our time working together, he sent me a message, and it was probably one of the most beautiful messages I've ever gotten from a client. And he said to me this, he said, Erica, no one has ever loved me, and no one has ever fought for me the way that you did. You have changed my life forever. And so, guys, sometimes with confidence, it's understanding what women want, but it's also getting rid of some of those thought beliefs about yourself from your childhood and letting those things go. And as you let those things go, you remove those barriers, then you go out into the land of women. You take what you've learned about women, what you understand about them, you implement it. And as you implement it, you start getting those wins. And as you get those wins, you start feeling more confident. And so I love that this client of mine, like, when we worked together, he felt this sense of self-love that he had never felt before. And I always tell people, when a person knows that they're loved, they become unstoppable. They have this unshakable confidence. And that is what I want for you guys. I want you to be able to really understand women. That's why you come here on these YouTube videos, these live videos, my other videos, to understand what women really want. But then sometimes we just need to remove barriers that are holding back our confidence so that we can actually go out into the land of women and actually have those encounters, have those experiences. And is it always easy? No, absolutely not. And let's just talk about, so I told you at the beginning that I would tell you a story about one of my clients who married Beyonce's cousin. How many of you have been in a really bad relationship? You can't raise your hands, but if you've been in a really destructive relationship, I want you to comment yes. As I drink my lemon water, I would show it to you, but if I tilted it, it would go all over my Mac, and then we wouldn't have this, so that would be bad. But yes, some of you are saying, yes, I've been in a damaging relationship before. And so this was my client. Oh my gosh, so many of you guys. Oh, you guys are going to break my heart on this. Woo! A lot of you guys. Wow, so many of you guys have been in a really toxic relationships. Oh man, that breaks my heart. Okay, then you guys really need to listen to this story. So I had this client and he reached out to me. This was years ago. And he said, Chris, I'll be happy to get to your questions in a minute, but just hold on. And so this client of mine reached out to me and he was in a very toxic relationship. And he said, Erica, do I stay in this relationship? Do I keep fighting for this relationship? Or do I need to just walk away? What do I do? What do I do? And he started telling me about how toxic the relationship was. And so we started working together. And I said, my love, why? Why would you stay in this relationship? This woman is tearing down your confidence. She's tearing down who you are as a man, and she's manipulating you. This is so unhealthy. This is so toxic, my love. Why? Why would you stay in this? Because every moment that you stay in this relationship that's so abusive and so toxic, and the person just doesn't want to change, basically what you're saying to yourself is, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, and you're wasting time on this person who's never going to give you anything because for whatever reason, they've got their own world that revolves around them, but they will never make you their world. And so the relationship will just continue to get toxic. And I said, but are you loving yourself in this process? And so I think a lot of men, when we say that women only want men who have money, who are rich, do you know what that says to me? When I see a guy comment that on YouTube, when he says women only want rich men, you know what that says? What is money? Money is value. And so that tells me when a guy responds that way and he says, oh, women only want men who are rich. When a guy says that to me, I say, there's a man who has no value for himself because he is bought into the system. He's bought into society that says, oh, I have to have tons of money. And so to me, that says, oh, so what you're saying is you have nothing else to offer a woman but just money, which we all know how those relationships go, right? They're very one-sided. So this client of mine who was very beaten down, we started talking about like him loving himself and exiting this very toxic relationship. And we went on this journey together. And fast forward several years later, he said, Erica, I was living in California and he was in Texas. And he said, Erica, I really, really would love for you to come to my wedding. I really would. It would mean so much to me. And I said, oh my gosh, I would love to come to your wedding. And so I went to his wedding and they got married. And lo and behold, I look there and I see Beyonce's father there, Mr. Knowles. And at the end of the wedding, I went up to my former client and I said, why is Beyonce's dad at your wedding? And he said, oh, my wife is Beyonce's cousin. And I said, what? And he said, yes, my wife, she's Beyonce's cousin. And so at the wedding, when they were talking, he got on the microphone and he brought me up and he said, it's because of this beautiful woman that I am with the love of my life, that I'm with my angel. And so, you know what? This guy did not come from money. He didn't have tons of money at all. And at that point that we had worked together, he felt really devalued in his life. And so the thing is to develop unshakable confidence is a process. It's not something that we all develop on our own. I definitely, like I shared with you, I've come from a background of feeling rejected and lonely and lost. And so it wasn't something that I could overcome on my own. I definitely through my life knew and had the experience. I always needed community. I've always gone to healers, mentors, but I've always had a network, a community. Like if people, so many people will tell me, Erica, you're so strong when they hear my story. But what I always say is, yes, I come across very strong. But what you don't see is the community behind me, because I have people in my life who are supporting me and sticking behind me and speaking into my life. And it was the same thing with this client. He just needed someone to come into his life and say, no, this is a toxic relationship. You cannot stay in this. This woman is toxic. And so if you're believing that women just want you for your money, then that you're setting yourself up for a toxic relationship. Why bust your ass to get into that? But when you say, I don't have money, I have nothing to offer women, you're essentially saying, I don't have value. And so that's why it's so important, you guys, for you to have a sense of community, but not just a community, but to also have the confidence. The confidence comes when you have your community going, brush that shit off of you. That is not the truth. And then understanding women. It's so, so, so important. So let me ask you a question. Just kind of what we've been going over today. When we talk about understanding women, developing the confidence, and not doing it alone. Does that resonate with any of you guys? Like, are there some of you out there that you're like, yes, I definitely need to understand women better? Any of you out there, you're like, I'm not even gonna lie, Erica, when it comes to you women, I don't get you. I don't understand you. So if you're saying, yes, understanding women is why I'm here, just say yes in the comment section. Yes. Thank you for that, Ornerson. It's true. Understanding women, it's so important. Frank says, yes, of course. Yes, Brian says, yes, I need to understand. Absolutely. It's so important. But the next thing is confidence. How many of you, a lack of confidence has sabotaged you? You've seen women that have crossed your path. You've seen a girl on a dating app. You've seen a girl at a grocery store. You've seen a girl in yoga class in her tight little pants with her cute little ass. And you're like, I want to talk to her. And then something sabotages you every time. And it just takes your confidence away. How many of you go through that? You're like, you know what, Erica, I watch your videos. And then I start understanding women, and then I start getting that confidence, and then I go out there, and then I just go, maybe not. I'll just walk away, and I'll try this again in about 2 years from now. How many of you have done that? I have watched my clients do this. I've watched the first story I told you about, the guy who knew nothing about women. I took him out to a bar to approach women, and I said, Kula Bear says, yep, failure to engage. So we were out at this bar, and he saw these beautiful girls, and I said, you have to go talk to these girls. And he looked at me and he said, no, I can't. And I said, you absolutely must. And he said, I can't. And I said, we're not leaving this club until you talk to those girls. That's how this is going to work. And I said, what's the worst that can happen? Are they going to kill you? And he goes, and he almost had tears in his eyes. And he said, yes, they just may kill me. And I said, I don't think that's going to happen. So I need you to go talk to these girls. And so he did. He just went up and told them how beautiful they were and chatted with them. And he came back to me, and I touched him, and I said, oh my God, you're not dead. This is amazing. You're not dead. You're still alive. You made it. But that's what happens sometimes with our confidence when we're trying to do this alone, when we're watching videos by ourselves and we get enough confidence, and then we go out there in the real world, we try and we get smacked down, or we just freaking walk away. And that's what my client did. Had I not been there to say, we're not leaving this bar until you talk to those girls, okay? So how many of you agree that, like, yes, I need to understand women. I need to develop my confidence. And truth be told, I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm doing this all by myself, and I'm not getting the results that I want. I don't have the woman that I want. So any of you excited so far about what we've been talking about? Does any of this excite any of you at all? A little bit as I drink my lemon water? Yes, need improvement, Brian says. Hello from Texas. Now, how many of you, let's be honest, how many of you, Kalula Bear says excited, Honorson's excited, Mark says, keep going, keep going. You know, sorry, my little voice. I feel like too, with what we're talking about, when we use terms like understanding women and we talk about confidence and we talk about not doing it alone, that's a little overwhelming. How many of you kind of feel a little overwhelmed? You're like, I'm excited, but I'm also a little overwhelmed because, Erica, I don't know how to do all that together. I don't understand women. Sometimes, a lot of times, my confidence gets sabotaged. And then, yeah, I've been doing this on my own for a long time. I've been watching YouTube videos on my own. And you know what? I'm just not getting the results. Like, how many of you are just like, that's me. That's definitely me. So here's the thing, guys. We can either, hello from Indianapolis. Thank you, Matt, for being here. So guys, Makia says not enough time in the day. Okay, so we got two paths. So we can all keep doing this on our own, right? Like some of you keep watching these YouTube videos alone and you feel alone. And when you fail, guess what? You're alone. No results. Brian just says you get no results. When you're alone, you get no results. Why? Because life happens. She says no. She quits text messaging you. She unmatches you on a dating site. She tells you there's no chemistry. So we can either do it alone or we can do it together. How many of you ever heard the phrase, it takes a village? I believe this wholeheartedly. I believe this, the Lone Ranger days are just done. They're over with. This whole, like, I can just do everything on my own is such horseshit because I don't know if you've seen this American photographer. He put out these pictures of people laying in bed, but he removed their smartphone. So they're like laying in bed and just holding this. And he's talking about how alone we are. So a lot of you are watching this and you've been going at this alone, but have you gotten the results that you want? Do you have the girl? You know, I had a coach that I used to work with in my 20s. And I would say, I did this, and I'd get frustrated in telling her what I was doing. And then I wasn't doing what she encouraged me to do. And she had a very strong Texas accent. And she would say, Erica, how's that working for you? And I would say, it's not working at all. And some of you might be feeling that way. Some of you have been watching YouTube videos. You watch my videos. You've watched other dating coaches' videos. And you're like, I'm just not getting the results. And chances are most of you are doing stuff, you're doing this alone. And we're not meant to do this alone. And so I want to share with you guys something, if you guys are okay with this. I'm going to share with you. And also, if you have questions, stay to the very end. I want to be able to answer your questions. And I also want to tell you, if you stay to the very end, I'll give you $1 to make you holla. Have you ever heard this? Have you heard this before? Okay, so stay to the very end and I will give you $1 to make you holler and I want to answer your questions. But listen, so when we talk about confidence, we talk about understanding women and doing it together. What I've done is I have created a private community just for men because I get so upset when I hear so many guys, when I see the comments on YouTube and people are frustrated and they're disheartened and they're either trying or they're not trying because they're afraid and they're out there just doing this all on their own and they're not getting the support that they need. And listen, as my channel continues to grow, although I want it to be growing a lot faster, as my channel continues to grow, I can't always respond to every comment, which sucks. I wish there was like 20 of me and I could just like message you all, but I can't. And I wish I could respond to every email, but I can't. And so I saw this. I saw a bunch of guys on YouTube who were commenting, who were very frustrated, feeling very lonely. I get so many, every time I get a coaching application, most of the time men say, I feel alone. And so what I wanted to do was create a private community for men, for you men to come to, where you can support each other, have my support where I can focus on you so that you don't have to do this alone. Because when you have the tools that you need to understand women, and you no longer have to do this alone, you become the man that not only gets the woman that he wants, but he gets to keep her as well. And so how many of you are, you're just like, I'm freaking tired of doing this on my own. I'm tired of watching YouTube videos and then I get to the bar and I'm afraid or I shut down and I come home depressed. Like, I wish I just had some support. So when those moments happen, I can reach out to my group and be like, tonight was a shitty night. Can anyone give me some encouragement? And you have a community to support you. So I want to ask you, do you want to keep doing this alone? Hopefully every single one of you are saying no, because listen, this is not how we're made for life. We are made to do this together. You know, I get so many people who write to me, and it's like people are becoming content being alone. And it's like, how can you find a woman if you're always alone? Like, women love, you know, they call it like social proof. Women love, you know, men who have some social circle. But most people, their social circles are getting so small because we're becoming more and more isolated. You know, I think it was some magazine out of New York said that loneliness is now an epidemic. And so a lot of us, we're meant to do this together. We're meant to do this as a community, as a village. But so many of us are going at this alone. So with a community, you're going to find the support that you need regardless of where you are with women. When you have supportive men that come together and they go, hey, we have each other's back, we are coming together. No matter if you're trying to get a girl or you already have one and you don't know what is going on and she's like freaking out in your relationship, having a group of men that you can come and check in with and talk to and go, yo, bro, I've got your back. I'm here. I get to come into the group and say, what's going on, babe? What's going on in your relationship? What's going on with your approach? What's going on in the land of women? That we can all come together in this circle and support one another, because it's so important. So I'm really excited about this. It's brand new. If you guys if you're not a part of my emails, you don't get my emails, then you are in the dark about this. But if you get my emails, like Caligula Bear, then you already know about what I've been so excited to share with you guys, is the fact that I have created not only a private community for men, but I have created a group of private members only group where men can come together, where not only do we help you understand women. So every course that I've done, if you've seen me talk about my courses, How to Get a Date, or you've seen me talk about my Create and Keep Great Conversation on the Date, or my Vulnerability, all of my courses are inside of this group. And guess what? Anytime I release a new course, you guys get access to it. So when it comes to understanding women, you guys are going to really know what the heck to do with women, because you're going to have these courses there to support you. The other thing is, every month, all of you men get to come together and say, Erica, we as a community vote that this is what we want you to teach us. Don't you just get tired of seeing YouTubers making videos about women and you're like, that's not even answering my freaking question. That doesn't help me for where I am in my life right now. So in this community, you guys get to come together and say, Erica, the tribe has voted, and these are the 3 topics that we want to talk about, because this is what we want to understand. And every month I make 3 new hot video trainings for you guys, hot topics that we keep in the group that all of you get access to. And how many of you love these live videos? I love doing these live videos. And so the thing is, when we join as a community, I get to know what your challenges are, where you're kind of getting the shit beat out of you, and where women are just really driving you crazy. And so once a month, we do these Facebook live videos where I come in and I encourage your socks off, but specifically for my community of men. So not just these very generic videos that you see on YouTube that it's like throwing darts at a wall, and maybe they land for your situation and maybe they don't. But no, in these videos, in this community, you're going to get the encouragement that you need on these Facebook live videos. Also, Q&A, like my boy Chris over here is just dying to get his questions answered. I feel you, boo-boo, I feel you. But what we get to do is, how many of you just have a bunch of questions that you'd like me to answer, and you're just like, Eric, I need to know more about being an alpha male, or I need to know more about approach, or I need to know more about how to create sexual tension. Well, every month we do a live Q&A where you guys get to come, and every question that you have, gets answered in those live Q&As, and they're recorded. So even if you can't be there for the live Q&A, you can submit your question before in the Facebook group, and your specific questions get answered. So no more the days of submitting something on a YouTube video and hoping that I respond to you. No, you're going to get it answered. So guess what? There's more to this, but the live Q&A is in my new private community for men. So I want you guys to have access to this. So guess what I'm doing? I'm going to share the link with you in here. Are you ready for this? I am going to let all of you try this out. It's right there. I just put the link in. I'm going to let all of you try this out. I don't know if that link will work, but we'll try it. Oh, I just did it wrong. I will let all of you try this out because you guys have stood with me. I told you I would give you $1 to make you holler. So if you are still here, if you're still in this group, if you go to confidencewithericaangelo.com, and I just put it in there, confidencewithericaangelo.com. Because you're still here, if you go to that link, I will let you try out this private community for $1. I told you I would make you holler for $1. So I want you all to go to that website, confidencewithericaangelo.com. And because you're still here, I want you to be able to have access to all of this for $1. And guess what else I've done? Because I don't know about you, but sometimes when you need, like if you need something answered right away and you go to YouTube and you're like, I'm just not getting what I really need with my specific situation, I have created, you can just say, thank you, Erica Angelo. I have created a YouTube library for all of the things that you're going through. If you're going through a breakup, if you need help developing confidence, if you want to become more attractive, I have created a library that every subject like that is in a YouTube library. It's organized. So not only do you get my courses, not only do you get a Facebook Live video every month, not only do you get a private members community, not only do you get the live Q&A every month in this members community, but you also have a compiled, curated YouTube library where no matter what subject you're going through, you get to put it in there. Oh, and the other thing is, if you are part of this private members community, you guys get to suggest to me what courses you want me to create. And when I create that course, if you are a member, as a member, you get free access to that. And the longer you stay a member, the longer you get VIP access. So if you're like, Erica, I need you to make this course because you've stayed in the group long, you become a VIP, which means that you get more access to me. You get more access to what you want more quickly because you've stayed a part of it. I'm just trying to think of it. Oh, and the other thing on top of that, all of this, you get to try for $1. I'm serious. You thought I was playing with you when I said I would make you holla for $1. So the other thing is that you guys get discounts. Whenever I do group coaching, you will get discounts on all of my group coaching. So just think of it as when you become a member, when you become a part of this community, that you become a VIP in the Erica Angelo world, because I would love to respond to every single comment here. Oh my God, I would love to do that, but I just can't. And so that's why I've created this community, because the truth is listen, I really don't think we're meant to do this alone. And what's the point of finding a woman if you're not even capable of doing relationship with the people in your life right now? So many times I see singles and they're like, oh, I just want a woman. I'm like, but how are you showing up with the people in your life right now? And that's the beauty of being a part of a group, is you get to practice on each other. You get to practice on how you're showing up. You get to practice on your vulnerability, and are you opening up, and are you communicating? But you get to do that in a private group. So just to recap, and I have a list here, that's why I keep looking here, because I will forget everything. If you guys have been on my other live videos, you know how excited I get, and I just completely forget everything. Yeah, and some people say, just be yourself. This guy just commented, oh, just be the best version of yourself. And yes, that is so important. You have to do that. But what does that look like? Who is the best version of you? And so that's why confidence is so important, my loves, because it can be confusing. So for $1 to make you holla, I want you to try this out. You will get unlimited access to all my current courses, and you'll get unlimited access to all my future courses. So any course I make, if you're in that group, you get it for free, baby, for free. And you get access to the private Facebook group. So it's a private community where I get to come in. I get to do a live video with you guys, encourage you guys, help answer your questions. We do a live Q&A that's recorded. So anything that you're going through, you can just submit your questions, or you can ask me directly on the video call. We do it on screen, so we're all together on video. I can answer that for you. We do 3 hot topic video trainings every month that you as a community can be a part of. And no, you do not need to be in the USA for group coaching. I have a brilliant software program that I can see all of you on video. And so, yes, you can definitely be all over the world and still be a part of the group coaching. And you will get discounts to all group coaching because you're a private member. And I've made a private video library for you. So all of my YouTube videos based on the subject, wherever you are, your specific situation in your life, I have made videos specifically for the situation and the challenge that you're having. It's all organized. It's there for you. So you get to try that out for $1. And there are also other options if you want to be a part of mastermind groups as well, to be supported by men who are going through the exact same thing that you are going through. How many of you, does this sound good to you? If you are like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yes, how do I get this? It's at confidencewithericaangelo.com. I'm going to put the link in here. So if this sounds good to you, I just want you to comment yes. I'm waiting for you. I told you I would make you holla for $1. Yes, Chris says yes. There's the link right there, confidencewithericaangelo.com. And I will also put it in the description. And I'll also put a link for it as well. So now, some of you, who has questions for me? I feel like there's, Chris, I feel like you should go first. Who will it make me more confident? Absolutely. Once you understand what women want, and when you have a community supporting you, hell yeah, you're going to be confident, Chris. We're not going to let you down. Chris, what's your question? Thank you, G5 from India, sending you love. Thank you for being here, babe. Why does a woman go from high interest to low interest? Typically, that is something with chemistry. When you look good on a dating app and then you show up for a date and you're not showing up as an alpha male and your confidence doesn't stay where you first started with, the chemistry starts depreciating. So chances are you may have looked good on screen, but then when you showed up on the date, the confidence, the chemistry just wasn't there. And trust me, I've worked with plenty of clients that we've taken them from there's just no chemistry to getting second, third, fourth, fifth dates, getting a girlfriend, getting a wife. So yes, absolutely, your confidence will grow as being a part of a community. I don't know. I think for me, that is what's made me such a strong, confident person is being obsessed with self-help. I will not lie about that. But the other thing is, sorry, I just saw a former client in here and I just want to freaking rip into my screen and hug him and kiss him right now. Ronak, you know I love you, boo-boo. I love you. But yes, I have had clients who have gone from getting the text. How many of you have gotten that text message of there's just no chemistry? Well, listen, those days are over. We're not doing that anymore. Someone said, why do some women hold their feelings? Some women, oh, I love this. This is a thing that I love to talk about in my vulnerability course, Johnny. So make sure that you sign up because this exact topic of women holding back is, we really dive into this in the vulnerability course. So I have in my YouTube library as well. You really, Johnny, I encourage you, go to that link, Confidence with Erica Angelo, and sign up for that. Like I said, it's only $1. But that is such a good question about, I see a lot of women these days holding their feelings back. And so we go through that in the vulnerability course of why some women do that and what you can do to make sure that you can have the conversation with her to be able to open her up. So make sure you go there. Ronak, I love you. You know you're one of my favorites, right? You know you have my heart. What advice can you offer to portray confidence on a dating site? Seems like it's all about the photos. Brian, that is a great question. And that's something in the private members community, we are going to have where you guys can group, you can vote on what courses to create. And I have been thinking about creating a course just for Tinder dating because this comes up a lot. So Brian, I think that is a great suggestion. That's a great question. And Brian, I would love to see you in this private members community because I would like to message with you and talk about this because this is a product that I really would love to create. Oh, Ronak says, guys, if you want beauty in your life, then sign up. What she says. Thank you, Ronak. I just so love you. Why are women so dominant nowadays? I feel like they're trying to be the man. And in turn, they lose sight of love and family happiness. It's true, you know, women, because with becoming more self-independent and self-reliant, they feel like they have to guard up and they have to protect themselves. And so there are ways to disarm women, guys. There are ways around that. And so I would love, I'm trying to see who said that. I can't see who said that. Oh, Enlighten One. Enlighten One, that is a beautiful subject we talk about how to really unravel a woman and get her to soften up again. Because typically women get a little bit more hard and guarded because they're just trying to survive and pay the bills. But there's a way around that. We can soften the women that we want to pursue and get them to open up. So make sure that you sign up there. Oh, Ronak says, you are one of my favorite people in the world. Love you too, Eric, with all my heart. I just adore you, my love. I absolutely adore you. So you guys, listen, it's really important for me. And I love, like I said, I love making these videos for you guys. I love being able to talk to you, but it's not the same if we can't connect and consistently check in with each other and talk. And I've done group events before. This is my first really successful, well, we're making it a success as you guys are a part of this. But there's something very different when you're on YouTube and you're just randomly commenting, and then when you are actually a part of a private community. It's completely different. It's like you develop this brotherhood, you develop this relationship with other people who are going through the same things, but you know that they have your back. And there's just something about that. It's just so different than randomly commenting on YouTubes and hoping that someone responds to you, and then actually being a part of a group where people actually start knowing you and they have an invested interest in you. So I want you to sign up for that. I just included another link in there. I don't know if YouTube is making these live or not, but make sure that you join me. Is there any other question that you guys have that you want me to answer for you? So how many of you are going to see, how many am I going to get to see? I can't even talk because I'm losing my voice. How many of you am I going to get to see in this members community? Just say yes. I want to see you. Chris, you really should join because you have a lot of questions. Boy, you need a community. Yes, me. Okay, yes, it's $1. Seriously, guys, it's $1 to try it out. I mean, that's just like a no-brainer. I cannot wait to see you guys in there. And so the thing is, when you join, I really want you to hurry up and sign up for that Facebook community because that's where I get to interact live with you. So just kind of like what we're doing now, but a more intimate, it's more, I can't think of the word, but it's more confined so we can come together. It's not so spread out like YouTube where it's like you comment on one video and then I've already moved on to 5 other videos from there. No, here it's more focused. So I want to see you guys there. Listen, whether you're rich or not, whether you're good looking or not, at the end of the day, society has told us that you need to be these things to get a woman. And it's just not the truth. When you understand women, when you have the confidence to pursue women, and when you're supported by a community that on your good days and your bad days, that they're there to have your back, you become unstoppable. You become the man that gets his girl. You become the man that not only gets his girl, but keeps his girl. And so, guys, I think that community is everything. And I know that our world right now is very isolated and people are doing everything on their own. But how is that working for you? How is it working for you? Do you have her? You know, someone's saying right here that disagree. This doesn't need to be a community base. Not everything needs to be a part of community. But Nasser, how is that working for you? Because right now, I can guarantee that you don't have a girl, but you're chatting with me on a live YouTube video, which tells me you're alone. So how is that working for you? So I want you guys to also, in terms of private coaching, if you sign up, there is a special offer with some private coaching as well. So make sure that you sign up for that. Guys, I love you so much. And I want you to know that, you know what, your dream of finding love is not just a fantasy. But you're going to have to stop listening to the naysayers and the skeptics, the people who are bitter and cynical because life hasn't worked out the way that they wanted and they've committed themselves to cynicism. You have to let those people go because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your life. And so there's only one Brad Pitt. There's only one George Clooney. But there are a million of women out there. Why not you? Why can't it be you? Why can't you find the woman of your dreams? Why can't you have the loving relationship? Because I believe that you deserve it. I believe that if you have a desire to find a woman and to keep her, that I believe that because you have that desire, that is something that you deserve. Are you going to have to commit to it? Yes. Are you going to have to learn? Yes. Are you going to need some support? Yes, because it gets hard. It gets hurtful sometimes. But you know what? That's why I've created this, so that you don't have to go alone. But yeah, do you need to learn what women want? Hell yes. You can't just be like, I deserve a woman, so she's going to fall from the sky. It doesn't work that way. I'm not going to bullshit you. You do have to understand women, and it does require confidence. You can't run out to bars or to restaurants or grocery stores and be terrified to talk to women. You'll never meet them. And so that's why you want to develop that confidence. And guess what? On your shit days, we all have them. We all have them. But you know what? When you have a community who has your back, then guess what, my love? You become unstoppable. I always tell people this. A person who knows that they're loved is unstoppable. And that's my mission for you. I shared with you at the beginning that I spent most of my life feeling alone, rejected, and like a loser, and really feeling unloved. And so the reason why I do what I do is because I don't want people to go through their life feeling this way. I lived this way most of my life. And the last thing I want is for my clients, for the people that come here to get support, to understand women, to feel like that. Like, who cares if you're watching my videos and you enjoy them, but yet you don't feel loved inside? That breaks my heart. That breaks my heart. I don't want you to just get an education about love. I don't want you to just get an education about women. I want you to feel loved. And so that's why I want you to be a part of my community. Because when you're a part of my community, guess what? My mama bear side comes out, and I fight for my men, and I love my men. Because it's important to me that you know that you're loved. That's why I say it in every video. I say, what two things? If you watch a lot of my videos, you know what I say. The two things I say are, you have what it takes, and that you are already loved. And so that's what I want. I feel like more than education about women, at the end of the day, we need to know that we're already loved. And when we know that we're already loved, we become unstoppable. So meet me in my private community. It's only $1 to get started. Meet me there. I want you to try it out for $1 and get in there. Get the loving that you need, because we all need to be loved on. So you might as well just let me love on you, because when you're in my group, you're going to feel that love. And it's starting today. You can sign up for it right now. You can go do it right now. So make sure you go to confidenceWithEricaAngelo.com. And in there, you'll see a private Facebook community where we get to connect, where I get to love you guys, where I get to champion you, because that's my heart for you. I want to champion you into love. I want you to feel that love, and I want you to also get the love that you deserve. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I know this was really early. I'm in France, and I really, really appreciate you guys being a part of this. And I'm just so grateful that you've taken your time to share with me and letting me pour the love that I have for you into you. So thank you for opening your heart to me. It means so much. And I am so thrilled to be able to create this members community for you guys to feel supported, to get the understanding, to get the confidence that you need. I love you all so much. And I will see you in that private Facebook community. It's only $1 to get you started. And it is at confidencewithericaangelo.com. All right, guys, I love you so much. I will see you in that private members group. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. This is going to be so good. I'll see you guys there. I love you very much. Bye, guys.